the Ain't No Fang podcast. From Arizona Sports, Ain't No Fang.
Hey everyone, welcome into Ain't No Fang, Arizona Sports Diamondbacks podcast, coming to you after the Diamondbacks completed a 3-game series sweep of the Miami Marlins out in Miami. I'm Alex Weiner with Ali Nerini. Just got done wrapping up production for the third and final game. Ali, 3 games. They outscored the Marlins 16-6 in the first 2. Today was a little bit tighter, but they were able to kind of hold off in the end, strand a lot of base runners, and pick up 3 more wins. So that's 5 straight wins for the Diamondbacks, and we're going to get into kind of main takeaways, trends, but let's start off with a couple of players that have really stood out, and I think that's kind of a good way to get into this. So, Ali, who was the first player that's kind of stood out to you in this 3-game series sweep?
I liked what I was seeing from Corbin Carroll. He's off on his 10-game hit streak, and today alone he had 3 stolen bases, so he's starting to get into the groove of his base running. So he's looking like his old rookie of the year self, So, I liked what I saw from Corbin and just how he's been hustling out there.
Yeah, 10-game hitting streak. He has now reached base in all 19 games to start the season. And, going back to last year, that's 25 straight games where he has reached base. He's just consistently impacted them and impacted winning. And even today, when he was 1 for 5, he struck out 3 times. But he starts the game off with a strikeout, drop third strike, and he gets over to first base. Steals second, steals third, scores on a sacrifice fly. Pavin Smith ended up hitting a home run right after that anyway. But that's kind of the chaos ball that you want to see, is you manufacture way aboard, whether it's a walk. In this case, he just got on with the
he
drop
put himself
third.
in the position to score a run, because Perdomo is the one who brought him in with the sac fly. So he, with those stolen bases, put him in the position to come in. So
I mean, he had no stolen bases on the year for such a long time, and he finally got one at the end of the homestand against Milwaukee. 3 today. It's he's up to 4, which once again is tied for the team lead, which is more like it, which is what we expected. Corbin Carroll, 4 for 15 in the series, but a double, a home run, and 7 RBIs because he hit that grand slam. Obviously he continues to swing a hot bat and continues to produce like one of the best players in baseball. I'm going to go with Pavin Smith, who went 6 for 11 in this series with a couple of home runs. He's batting over 400 on the season. Florida native, goes back home to South Florida and just continues to ball out there. He's been such a big deal for this lineup. Without Ketel Marte, after losing Jock Peterson against right-handed pitching specifically, and he has more than held his own so far.
I feel like he really likes playing in Miami. I feel like he really developed. He could really hit the ball out there. I've seen him. I think maybe a couple of years ago, he had like a big home run out in the right field that went up like the second part, the stand. So I think he really likes hitting, and he's just comfortable there.
I think he hit a 429 footer the other day. So Pavin Smith, Corbin Carroll continues to swing a hot bat. Some other standouts from this series, Geraldo Perdomo, 3 for 12, but he drove in 5 runs today. He was just, consistently impactful. He was 1 for 2, but he walked a couple of times. Drove in Carroll. He drove in Carroll twice with a sac fly and with a single. And then Josh Naylor homered in all 3 games. Unfortunately, there was nobody on base for any of those home runs. But 3 straight games with a home run for Naylor. They were all solo shots.
A lot of solo home runs, I think.
Today 2 of them. Pavin went yard with a solo shot. Josh Naylor went yard with a solo shot. Today was kind of an interesting game because it was kind of that combination of speed and power and kind of a reminder that how they can beat you in different ways. 6 stolen bases. They had more stolen bases than hits in this game. That hasn't happened this year.
They allowed. They allowed Miami to have 13 hits or whatever. But there was that point. I want to say it might have been earlier, like the 3rd inning today, where Perdomo, he got a nice liner that was hit out to him that could have been scored. At least I think there was a runner at first and third, so could have scored it a run. So with Perdomo out at defensively, he's been progressing and he's been doing really good and helping save runs,
Yeah. I mean, I know he had a couple of hiccups in those first series of the season, but since then, he's been rock solid. As for the rest of the team, the defense has been better, but we'll get into that because today it wasn't all that great. Today it was interesting with the speed and with the power game because, as we mentioned, the defense wasn't great, but they were able to squeeze enough offense out of only 5 hits to be able to kind of rack up enough offense to take a 6-1 lead and for it to hold when the Marlins really started to come back late in the game. So with that, as I mentioned, the Diamondbacks have won 5 straight games, longest winning streak of the season so far. They're up to 12-7 on the year. Amazingly, because the National League West is such a juggernaut, they are now the 4th team to go on a 5-game winning streak in the division this year, and it is April 17th. Yeah. The Dodgers obviously started off 8-0. The Giants have gone on a 7-game win streak. The Padres have gone on a 7-game win streak. So the Diamondbacks got a couple more wins to get when they go to Chicago if they want to match that. But the division has been such a gauntlet, and it's good to see the Diamondbacks kind of continue to kind of stay, continue to keep up that pace.
Yeah, because the last thing they want is to go on the opposite, go on a losing streak with, you're with the Dodgers or the Giants, and the Padres, because any little, now at this, I know it's early in the season, but one loss can set you back, just the way that all the other teams are playing in the West.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to get too deep into scoreboard watching this early in the season, but at the same time, it does feel like if you can hang with them while they're at their hottest and then zip past them, and then when they go through a little bit of a rut, that's kind of what you want to see out of it. Recent trends. What is kind of, at least over the last however long it could be, this 5-game winning streak? They've won 7 of 8. What has stood out to you in terms of what you'd like to see?
Well, what I liked as the trend I was seeing, unfortunately came to end yesterday, was the quality starts. I liked seeing that there was 6 quality starts that the starters put up. It just makes everybody's life a little bit easier, because you're not putting out arms, when you could give guys some time to relax and to, just get, rejuvenated again. So, I liked, that was something I liked seeing. So hopefully, it still goes towards that trend,
Absolutely. Yeah. 6 straight quality starts. It was the first time they did that since 2017. And even though the streak ended yesterday, I mean, it's like Brandon Pfaadt pitched 5 2/3 and gave up 1 earned run. So he needed 1 more out to get there, but they decided to go to the bullpen when they did. Ended up working out for him. But even today, like Eduardo Rodriguez, it was kind of a strange start statistically because he gave up 10 hits. His pitch count really climbed, but he didn't walk anybody. His defense really didn't help him out a lot. Yeah. And he struck out 9 guys, 9 strikeouts to 0 walks. And he ends up getting out of there 5 1/3, 3 runs, but only one of them was earned. So even the last 2 starts, even though they weren't quality starts, which is 6 innings, 3 or fewer earned runs, I thought they both, Pfaadt yesterday and Rodriguez today, did a great job about keeping the team ahead and giving them opportunities to continue to build on that lead. Going back during this series, which Kelly, 6 innings, 1 run in the first game. Pfaadt and Rodriguez, 17 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, a 1.59 ERA from the starting pitching in this 3-game series. And like you mentioned, it's been a good trend for them recently.
Yeah, that's what you like to see is, as long as pitching does their job. I mean, today, the errors and, I know Game Day gave Erod a wild pitch to score a run, but really it didn't look like it. It looked like Erod had everything controlled today, but yeah, as long as these pitchers can keep, dealing it, then they can get far in the game. So
yeah, I like the point you made with it just makes everything a lot easier. It makes the games flow easier. That wasn't necessarily the case today. That wasn't really entirely Erod's fault entirely.
He kept them in the game, though, I feel like, especially today, so.
Yeah, but there's just a rhythm and a flow. It helps your offense continue getting a rhythm and have that confidence that, they don't need 10 runs to go win these games. They can blow up for 10 runs, as we saw the other day, but they don't need that. It helps you kind of plan how you're going to use your bullpen. Today was interesting strategically in what they did with the bullpen. Ryan Thompson got into some trouble in the 7th inning. They go to J-Mart right there. Walked in a run, unfortunately. That was his first walk of the season, which I guess that in of itself is a pretty good sign for him. Then strikes out a batter looking with just, I think it was Connor Norby was up, and he had no idea what to do because he saw that slider hit the outside corner, 100-plus mile-an-hour fastball, and then another one paint on the outside corner, and he just looked like he had no idea what was coming.
It just froze him up,
Beeks got a huge opportunity, just high leverage, 8th inning, tight game. Leadoff walk, then strikes out 3, and then AJ Puck ends up straightening a runner to get the save. So I think the starting pitching combined with effective relief pitching so far, it definitely just helps keep these games in a certain kind of rhythm and
Yeah.
gives them good chances to win.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job by just stranding a bunch of runners. I think I don't know how many of the Marlins left.
15.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
15
Yeah.
runners.
See, yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
runners.
So, and I feel that's all comes. It's pitching. That I think that's like you said with Beeks. He stranded a runner. And just helps them just get out of the inning when they need to get out of the inning. So
Yeah, neither team was good with runners in scoring position. The D-backs were 2 for 11. The Marlins were 2 for 18, which is remarkable. But yeah, they executed in high leverage moments when they needed to. How about on the other side? I think we're both going to say some similar things with this, but like you mentioned the defense. Is that your area where you'd like to see improvement for the most
just
part?
based off of really today though. Like I think they kind of won at the skin of their teeth today a little bit, just because of all the mistakes they made. That's something I just want to see them tighten up a little bit more. So, I think, I'm not too worried still about it, but I just hope they can kind of get clean back up and get back on the right path. With that. Yeah.
It felt like their defense has really improved the last, week and a half or so. Today was a bit of a step in the wrong direction, but overall, I think it's a good trend. Yeah. And then for me, it's they got to get more out of kind of that next group. What we talked about, Corbin, Geraldo Perdomo, Pavin Smith, and Josh Naylor. That next group, it was a really, really rough day for that next group. I mean, from hitters 5 through 9 today, they were 0 for 18 with 10 Ks.
Oh, yeah.
4 strikeout day for Eugenio Suarez, another 0 for kind of day for Lourdes Gurriel. I feel those guys had some good swings yesterday. Gurriel had a home run. Suarez was able to knock one into left field. Gabby had a hit. Gabby didn't start today. It was Jose Herrera who did not have a good day offensively at all. So yeah, it's just that next group just finding a little bit like some sort of a rhythm from them, especially with Cattell out. Their offense has been able to maintain because the top has been so darn good. But yeah, I think Cattell misses more and more games. Hopefully the end of this month, if not the beginning of next month, is when they get him back. They're going to need some of those guys to start getting into some sort of a rhythm, and it's been awfully quiet. Let's kind of go over what comes next for this team, right? Because they win this series, they win 5 in a row, and now comes a pretty big weekend for them because they're going up against the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley. They split 4 games with them at Chase Field earlier this season, so the tiebreaker is up for grabs, and that obviously what we learned last year is a pretty big deal. And this is a Cubs team that's really hitting the ball well. I mean, they've led the league in runs. They're 12-9 on the season. They took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, then lost 2 out of 3 against the Padres. So the schedule makers really kind of threw them to the wolves this whole NL West gauntlet for them. Yeah, what are you hoping to see? What's kind of the main thing you're looking for out of this Cubs series?
Like you were actually just saying with the 3 or was it 4, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Is that what you're saying?
Like 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7 hitters. That maybe with that win out of Wrigley, hopefully will help them get back on track. So I'm hoping to see some. I'm hoping to see home runs, but more than solo home runs like we were seeing this series. So
build some innings and then hit the timely slug.
Yeah. So hopefully, it's just a good open environment, and too, it's the environment like. What in Miami there was one game that had 7,000 people there, and then today I think I heard the attendance was like 8,000 something or whatever. So
it'll feel like bigger games.
Yeah, so hopefully too that would be kind of a momentum build for them too, is just actually see fans. I mean, no offense to the Marlins, but like they actually see fans in the stand, So and I know like Alec Thomas is like homegrown Chicago guy there too, so hopefully that would kind of get him motivated too. But yeah.
I'm going to go with the pitching and just continuing this stretch because if you look at the probable starting pitchers, they have a pretty good advantage when it comes to the series, right? Because it's going to start with Corbin Burns, who's very familiar with the Cubs from his time in the NL Central. Then you got Zach Gallen, then you got Merrill Kelly. This is, if you were to, a lot of people would have started off the season with, that lineup. And they're going to go up against the Cubs who have Colin Ray, Ben Brown, and Jamison Taillon, which, it's not quite the same caliber of pitchers. So when you look at kind of the pitching advantages, the Diamondbacks will have that. So
and the loss of Justin Steele, so
that definitely was a huge loss for Chicago. I'm very curious what they're going to do to address that.
Yep.
Because it kind of, have to piece together parts of the rotation now.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks are going to miss Shota Imanaga. They missed Sandy Alcantara in this series, which was a benefit. And they were able to get to some of, some young and promising pitchers, but still they weren't facing the ace of the staff. And in Chicago, they're not going to face the ace of the staff.
Right.
So, just, taking advantage when you can take advantage and continuing this kind of awesome stretch of starting pitching that we've seen. So, Diamondbacks and Cubs, 3 games at Wrigley Field. It starts Friday, 11:20 first pitch here, Arizona time. So keep it locked in. For Ali Nerini, I'm Alex Weiner. Thanks for listening to Ain't No Fang on Arizona Sports. Keep it locked in for all things Diamondbacks coverage and a big weekend coming up.